you want a floating shelf? I did, but I also did not want to go through the struggle of drilling and hammering and causing all sorts of destruction on my walls, because if you've seen my other videos, and I hope you have probably noticed that I struggle opening boxes. Therefore, it is safe to assume that I shall struggle putting on a shelf. This is where the high and mighty shelf comes into play. Yes, I said high and mighty. It's a pretentious name. Well, the company intends for you to be able to put up a floating shelf without the use of any other implement than what is actually in the box, meaning no hammers, no drills, no saws. You use saws for putting on furniture, right? Anyway, only what's in the box. And the box itself advertises that it can hold up to 20 pounds, as it says so right there, and that you will not use any instrument other than what's in the box. It's very simple to put up, it says. It's very strong, and it'll take up to 15 minutes to actually install the shelf. Well, let's see. When you open the box, all you get is the shelf until you turn it over. On the end of the shelf, the back end of the shelf, are a couple of things. There are two prongs. If you purchase the 24-inch or the 18-inch shelf, then they're just going to be two prongs. They're made of metal, probably just steel. And then there's this plastic ribbon with a level in the middle. And that level is going to come in handy later. As you can see, it seems to be fairly accurate. The rest of this is just man-made wood. It's not real wood. It doesn't really feel very good, and nor does it look very good up close. And there's Charlie waiting to trick me. I'm going to measure this, because as they say, measure twice, then you don't have to measure 3 times. Regardless, it's important that you measure where you're going to put the shelf. Obviously, you don't have to know this. I'm just doing it because, it's padding the video. That's all. I can read numbers. Look, I've done construction work now. So on the back of that ribbon is adhesive, and you just need to pull off some plastic on either end. Again, if it's a 24 or 18-inch shelf that you got, there's only going to be 2 pieces of adhesive. If you have the 36 or 38-inch shelf, then there will be 3 pieces of plastic that you need to take off for the adhesive side. And then you just stick it onto the wall. The level that's built in will help you put that on. I didn't use any other level than the one that was provided on that ribbon. And once it was straight on there, I kind of eyeballed the shelf to make sure that was the height and distance I wanted it on the wall. The next portion is taking off the foam protectors on these metal clips, these very dangerous looking stabby things. These will go into the wall and latch on. It works best, in fact it only really works if it's drywall or soft wall material. It won't work on concrete, and you'll be hard pressed to make it work on hard wood. So what you do is you take the prong, and it clearly says which side is up, and there's an arrow pointing up, and that's the way that it should be. The arrow should be pointing up when you put it in the wall, and you just have to press it in to the designated spots. But the problem is that it's not as easy as it's advertised. It hurts your hand. It hurts my hand. I've put up 4 of these shelves so far. This was the 3rd, and on each occasion it became very difficult to press this thing into the wall, so I used the towel method to protect my hand. Once you eventually have this into the wall, clipped in, sunk in, then you got to put the shelf on. And what happens is that at the back of the shelf, there are 2 metal pieces that will latch onto and then sit on top of the metal clips that are in the wall right now. The problem is there's no designation on the shelf which is up and which is down, and it's important that you know which is up and which is down. So you kind of have to guess if you've got it, or eyeball and try to make sense of, okay, do I put the shelf on this way or do I put it on that way? That seems as if it was a really poor oversight by this company. they put an arrow up onto the metal prong that goes into the wall, but they didn't put a metal or an arrow up on the shelf to designate which side is up. It's really strange. So as you can see, it's a kind of a struggle. And again, I've done 4 of these shelves over the span of the last couple of months, and on each occasion, it's been the same problem. I should know by now. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But frankly, it shouldn't be this difficult. Once you eventually figure out which side is up, that's no guarantee. You still have to kind of guess and feel around to make sure that you can get the metal prongs to sit on top of the metal prongs in the wall. Once you've done it, which I have here, it's pretty sturdy. Now, I'm pulling down on the shelf just to make sure it's not going to fall off, but more than that, you should not do. Just a little bit of pressure, because this shelf can only hold up to 20 pounds. Using my iPhone level, and this is the first time during this installation that I used it, perfectly level. Using just the leveler that was on that plastic rivet. Now, a little bit about this shelf. It's ugly, as I said before. Once you get up close, you get to see that it's really, really cheap. But if you just want to put something on the wall to hold some of your memorabilia, photos, headphones, whatever, this is a really easy option.